Hello everyone. Today we're looking at Leetcode, the world's leading online programming learning platform. Leetcode is where you can do some challenges and it will verify your answer for you. And then there will be some solutions and in each language. So I've just picked one here at random. It's called Palindrome number and it's, I believe easy. and You can complete the challenge in any of these languages, so C++, Java, Python, C, C#, JavaScript, Ruby, the list goes on. So let me just zoom in on that slightly for you. Hopefully that's easier to read. And this challenge just picked up random or semi-random is how to check whether a number or an integer is a palindrome. So is it the same backwards as it is forwards? I started doing this and got in a bit of a muddle, so then I looked at some other people's solutions on Stack Overflow, and to be honest, I'm ashamed to say the solution was pretty much in these three lines. So you need to divide the existing number by 10, and then you use remain. So the remain modulus 10. And then you keep dividing by 10. So I'll show you that a bit more in a minute, but just to explain why or how I came across this, many of you may already know of it, but I've been busy making YouTube videos for far too long and concentrating on that when I should have been concentrating on programming more. But having talked about YouTube, one of the channels which has been really helpful to me kind of learning programming more in depth with regard to data structures, discrete structures, and also C programming. Barry Brown, check him out on YouTube, brilliant. There's a bits of chat in between, but you can fast forward through the chat bits. It's actually a live broadcast to his students, so he's kind enough to share it with YouTube, so that's why there's some kind of chat, and there's some bits where he sets exercises for the students, but you can either watch that or skip it and get back to the actual main tutorial. So this again is trying to find a palindrome of a number, and when I read it I was thinking, oh, I could do a list and then read the list backwards, and then I got down to the bottom. Could you solve it without converting the integer to a string? And as soon as they'd asked that, kind of hints that you can. So rather than mess around with lists and slicing, my effort began with, I was using modulus and dividing by 10, but I just got in a bit of a muddle and I was getting some quite strange numbers as the output. So this is actually in C. So my aim is to use Leetcode to code in C and Python. So what I'll probably be doing is learning it in Python, learning to solve the problem in Python, and then I will go back and apply the logic to C and see if I can get that working in C. So this is probably quite a good way if you're learning a second programming language. Just come in here and choose your second language once you've got the logic working with your primary language. Right, so let's just minimize that and come back here. So what is this actually doing? With C you include stdio.h and any more that are applicable to what you're doing. So if you're working with strings, you'd include string.h and so on. But this is primarily just to look at the logic. So what we're doing is we're taking a number or creating an integer, n, remain, reversed, and original. Then we just get the user to input. This isn't part of the Leetcode example. I've just this is a hybrid of an example I found and the Leetcode question problem. What you want to do is, while the number's not 0. If the number is 0, then obviously there's no point checking if it's a palindrome because kind of it's the same forward or backwards, just the number 0. As you can see down here, integer 2332, that should, when we run it, that should come back and say it is a palindrome. In fact, I'm halfway through running this, and just close that and come back here, take away that breakpoint. So while the number's not 0, remain is equal to at the start, remain is equal to the number you're putting in. So for the sake of this exercise, we'll say n equals 2332. Oh yeah, comment and C is double /. There we go. So remain starts off as 0, and then we set it to 2332. Reversed becomes, so it starts at 0. So in a moment it's 0, but then it will become 0 times 10, which is 0, plus remain mod 10. So remain mod 10 of 2332. If you divide 2332 by so many times 10 goes into it, you're left with remainder 2. So reversed becomes 2, which coincidentally is that last number. So the first number, as you're looking at it, then we check if it's the same as the last number. I haven't put the checking in here yet, but that would follow. Then what you do is you say your original number, just divide it by 10, because you've already stripped off one of the digits. Anyway, let's debug this and we can see it, because trying to describe it to yourself or anybody else is not easy. Debugging it is a lot easier. So I'm going to set 3 breakpoints here. Enter an integer. So I'm going to do, let's do one that's not a palindrome first. So if I do 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. So you can see using the debugger in VSCode, if you're hardcore, you could do this with Vim and GDB, but I wanted to experiment with trying to use VSCode debugger reliably with C. So you've got step over, step into, step out, restart. So in a moment we can see n is still at 0. No, it's not. N is 1, 2, 3, 4 currently. And if we step down, we should see that reversed. Or remain has now been set to the same as n. And then if we run this line, we should find out that reversed should become 4. Let's check that. So here, see if reversed is currently 0. Let's run this. And it becomes 4. So it's always good to have in your mind what you're expecting to see in the debugger. And it's a nice feeling when you confirm with the debugger what you've already worked out in your head. So n equals n divided by 10. So n was 1, 2, 3, 4. And what have we done? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 divided by 10. So that should then become n equals n divided by 10. N becomes 1, 2, 3. Yeah. I was expecting, we both know that should actually be 1, 2, 3.4. But because we're only using integers, 1, 2, 3.4 becomes 1, 2, 3. And as you can see, n is now 1, 2, 3. So n is still not equal to 0, so the while loop continues. Remain will update in a minute to be 1, 2, 3. Let's run that. once more. There we see it's changed. 1, 2, 3. And reversed equals reverse times 10. So reversed equals 4 times 10, which is 40, plus remain mod 10. So that is 1, 2, 3 mod 10. That gives us 3. So reversed should now become 4 times 10 is 40, plus 1, 2, 3 mod 10 is 3. So that should become 43. Just run that. There we go. Reversed equals 43. And do another iteration, and still not 0. So remain now becomes n, which is 43. And run one more. And reversed equals reversed times 10. So reversed is 43. So times 10 is 430. Plus remain, which is 12, mod 10. So that's 2. So it's 430 plus 2, 432. So reversed should now be 432. Yep. And then n equals n divided by 10. So n, which is 12, should now become 12 divided by 10 as an integer, which will round it down to 1. So then n becomes 1. Here we see. And while n is not equal to 0, so the while loop is still going, remain should then equal 1. Yep. And then reversed should equal reversed, which is currently 432. Reversed times 10, so that's 4320. Plus remain, which is currently 12, and that should then leave us with remain mod 10. So that should give us 2. And then let's go down there. No, it gives us, remain is 1. So then we do reversed times 10, which is 4320, plus remain of 1 mod 10, which is 1. And then n equals n divided by 10. So 1 divided by 10, that actually gives us 0. So then the loop stops. So that will then jump down to line 17, which is print. And then it prints the number. And I have to click in here. And nothing happens. This is probably something to do with the debugger. Let's run it properly. Run without debugging. In fact, let's cancel that. Let's just run it the old school way in terminal. And let's do, I should still have it in the history. GCC, palindrome, number C. If we do -O for output, pal, call it pal, and dot / pal. So that will compile it. It will compile the C file to a binary executable called PAL, and then we will just run it. So enter an integer, and we will do 567765, and it returns the backwards number, which is the same. In fact, I've changed my shell to ZSH, which has given me a percentage sign if I don't do a new line character. So yeah, I need to look at that. Not sure why. GCC Palindrome number C -O. Pal. So let's do one that's not a palindrome. You can see it's reversed the number. Enter an integer. Oh, I need space there. Let's just tidy that up a bit as well. Right, let's recompile that. Enter an integer. 1, 2, 2, 1. And yeah, backwards is the same. Enter an integer 1, 2, 3, 4. And this should give us 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. So we can reverse an integer just using this nice logic. So you need 4 variables. Original I've actually got here, that's taken from the code example which I'm basing this upon. That's to capture the original number so that you can compare the original with the reversed. So for the point of this exercise, I don't actually need it. There we go. Let's just run that again. Enter an integer 2, 3, 3, 2. It's the same. There we go. Still works. So yeah, if you're into Python, sorry about the little transgression into the world of C. But one of the key things with programming is actually solving the problem rather than, or solving the logic of the problem rather than worrying about the syntax. So yeah, shortly I'll come back in here and I'll try and convert my C code to Python. As in general, I'll be writing and fixing the problems in Python and then testing it. So you've got tests down here, you've got test case. So it provides, basically it's like a unit test for you really. And when you've solved the solution, I think that's, okay, it's a hint at the moment. So it gives you a hint on how to solve it. It describes the algorithm a lot more eloquently than I just did. So let's just have a quick read through that. Algorithm. First of all, we should take care of some edge cases. All negative numbers are not palindrome. For example, -123 is not a palindrome since the minus does not equal to 3. Oh yeah, so you got 4 characters there really. So we can return false for all negative numbers. So any negative number is not a palindrome. Because although that's 1, 2, 3, you've actually got the minus sign at the start, so you've got 4 characters there really. Now let's think about how to revert the last half of the number. For number 1221, if we do 1221 mod 10, we get the last digit 1. To get the second to last digit, we need to remove the last digit from 1221. We could do so by dividing it by 10. 1221 divided by 10 equals 122. So because it's an int, it's not including the 0.1 at the end. Then we can get the last digit again by doing a modulus 10. So you do that 4 times effectively on a 4-digit number. And each time you keep adding that to your current number. And that's what gives you your backwards number. And yeah, so they've given a code example in C# here. And if you've not looked at C# before, I haven't much either, but it looks very much like C, other than you've got these things here, public, and public. Other than that, it looks almost identical to C, which is nice. So yeah, there we go. And use example test cases. I just seen that as well. How to create console. you can just get rid of that and give you a bit more screen space. So yeah, Leetcode, if you've not used it before, well worth a look. Whether you're learning in Python, C, JavaScript, whatever, and yeah, why not kind of solve a problem in one language and then try and solve it in a different language? I think in this day and age, employers will require more than one language. As much as I don't want to learn C# because it's kind of tied in with Microsoft, I think some code interviews will show you problems in C#, so always worth knowing what it looks like so you're not freaked out by having C# thrown at you. Google interview. So yeah, there's interview questions here as well. I believe in the, wow. Let's look at easy collection, top interview questions. This is Leetcode's official curated list of top classical interview questions to help you land your dream job. Our interview questions are divided into the following series. Easy collection. Let's go for one. I don't want to embarrass myself on a video in front of all of YouTube. Okay, so remove duplicates from sorted array. Given an integer array nums sorted in non-decreasing order, remove the duplicates in place such that each unique element appears only once. The relative order of the elements should be kept the same. Okay, so input 1112, output 12 underscore. Oh, so any duplicates substitute with underscores. Okay. Show hints. You got hints as well. And yeah, one thing I noticed is they always start with the class solution. I suspect that's so that it works with their checker, which is probably looking for a class called solution. I wouldn't typically start a class just to solve some of these problems, but yeah, there we go. Solution. Oh, so it shows you the solution as well. I thought you had to solve it before it would give you the solution. I would turn this into a set and then use something like argsort. Is it using set in argsort? Oh, it's not letting you see the video. Pointers, so in Java. Any Python examples? Here we go. Okay, Python, remove duplicates. Right, so they're removing the duplicates first and then doing something to reinstate the original indexes. So the length is 0. For I in range length of numbers, yeah, okay, up to the last. If numbers in the numbers at the index is not equal to the numbers at the index plus 1, then length plus 1. Okay, so it just keeps adding up, keeps totaling up the length, but if it finds 2 duplicate numbers, then it doesn't add up the length. And at the end, it returns the length. that's just his code example. That's not the actual solution, by the way. So yeah, if you what is this? Oh, if you have to subscribe to unlock. I thought I had subscribes. Anyway, that's an introduction to Leetcode, and I've just kind of showed how to. I think with these, because there are a lot of numerical challenges, then it's good to use the debugger, because many of these are using algorithms and you need to know what the values are and just watch them. So yeah, although I found the solution to this palindrome, I actually then kind of took it apart and just rewrote it myself, and then used the breakpoints just so that I could check all the values. So hopefully this has just been interesting from a point of view of problem solving, and yeah, just solve the logic rather than worry about the actual specific syntax of the coding language. But I'm sure most of you already know that anyway. But yeah, and also I'm just showing off my new ZSH shell with, this is running on Linux, but I've customized my shell, which is given me no end of enjoyment. Look, if I do CD tilde, it's so minimalist, I like it. And if I go CD and then I go back to where I was, CD minus, there we go. Also, what I've done is I've pimped it so that the directory string is on one line, and then where I type is on the line below, which is quite nice. If you want to see where I've edited that, I think it's in ZSH. Oh, it's a hidden file, so bear with. No, it's not there. Right, let's back over to Vim. CD tilde Vim. ZSH, that's what I just went into, but it was nothing there. If you want to use it, I think it was power 10k. Power 10k ZSH. I know this is slightly off topic, but if you did want to pimp your shell. There we go. And there's a lot of steps, but I followed these yesterday. I was of May 2022. They do work. To be honest, if you just wanted, there we go, prompt style, and then you get to choose to put your prompt on the next line down. Especially for doing videos, it's very good if you have a larger font, then you can just get your line that you're typing goes on to the next line, because if you had a really long directory, it wouldn't leave you much room for what you wanted to type, and it would then wrap onto the next line. So yeah, I've tweaked it with. I say I don't know where that ZSH was. See if I can find it for you. Ah, there we go. ZSHRC. Yeah. So there we go. So if you want to pimp your shell, all the blue stuff's just comments. So 3 lines there. Export oh my ZSH. Power level 10k. You need to download and set that up. So really, there's only 5 lines there, and all that just goes on forever. You can get plugins as well, and to customize it, yeah, you just run the power 10k and it lets you customize it. So there we go. That's little bonus for you at the end of this video. So yeah, Leetcode, have a look. And also if you're interested in C and or data structures and graphs, so you may think that a graph is kind of X and Y with some lines. Graphs are actually, you can represent finite state machines, you can represent shortest path algorithms and other more interesting stuff. So yeah, don't think a graph is just an XY axis. But if you go to Barry Brown on YouTube, you can watch that, and you will or may learn quite a lot. So yeah, hopefully that's been interesting. If you want web scraping videos, I'm probably not going to be doing anytime soon. But if you liked the network automation ones, to be honest, those use requests and some API bits and pieces. So yeah, let me know if you'd like to see some more networking API videos. Or I did look at the eBay trading API, which some of my eBay videos have been quite popular, but the eBay trading one, it started going into the realms of OAuth 2 and I can't remember what the problem was, but let's have a look. eBay trading API. eBay trading API. I think it wasn't really suited to Python, if I remember correctly. You had to create a bearer token, and to do that you really needed to do it within the web page, and yeah, it was more suited to I think even the examples were tutorials. I don't know if that's register your keys. Yeah, I think you really needed to be doing it with C# or JavaScript. So the trading API, eBay. Because the Python, what I call the Python API is actually just a wrapper to, yeah, so the finding API, there's my tutorial, the third one. So you've got the eBay SDK-Python, but really if you're doing, you want to use a trading API, then you need to get a bearer token, and then you need an actual web page front end really to help you establish the bearer token and do the OAuth 2. So yeah, the trading API, register, getting tokens. There we go, getting the tokens. So OAuth access, setting up an application to receive tokens. This is just the initial bits and pieces, but yeah, getting a token for a user. So get session API test tool. There's loads of good stuff in here, but yeah, there we go. Resources, .NET, Java. So it's not really suited to Python as such. So sorry about that, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Developers program. Let's see what's on here. eBay is switching the certificate authority from DigiCert to Sectigo. Okay. I'm going off on a tangent here, really, but yeah, it's all here. Developer.ebay.com. Yeah, the focus of this video was really just to have an initial look at Leetcode and consider solving the problem with the logic rather than actually worrying about the language, and ultimately try and solve the problem in 2 languages, because that's quite a good way. Once you know the logic, then you just need to worry about the syntax of the second language, your weaker language or your newer language that you're learning. Anyway, I'm probably teaching you to suck eggs now, so thank you. Thumbs up, subscribe. Hardly anybody subscribes or gives thumbs up, which is not good for me, but you know, whatever. You're all busy, and people who don't watch this aren't watching it because the algorithm's not. It's probably because I'm not doing all these thumbnails where I'm going like that, or looking up at something and then doing all those stupid. I just can't be bothered. So, any ideas for more videos? Then let me know. Otherwise, have a nice day, and I'll be back soon with some more coding related stuff. So, cheers.